when we're dealing with basic arithmetic, we see the concrete numbers there. We'll see 23 plus 5. We know what these numbers are right over here. We can calculate them. It's going to be 28. We can say 2 times 7. We could say 3 divided by 4. In all of these cases, we know exactly what numbers we're dealing with. As we start entering into the algebraic world, and you've probably seen this a little bit already, we start dealing with the ideas of variables. And variables, there's a bunch of ways you can think about them, but they're really just values in expressions where they can change. The values in those expressions can change. So, for example, if I write x plus 5, this is an expression right over here. This can take on some value depending on what the value of x is. If x is equal to, so if x is equal to 1, then x plus 5, our expression right over here, is going to be equal to 1, because now x is 1. It'll be 1 plus 5, so x plus 5 will be equal to 6. If x is equal to, I don't know, negative 7, then x plus 5 is going to be equal to, well, now x is negative 7. Negative 7 is going to be negative 7 plus 5, which is negative 2. So notice, x here is a variable, x here is the variable, and its value can change depending on the context. And this is in the context of an expression. You'll also see it in the context of an equation. It's actually important to realize the distinction between an expression and an equation. An expression is really just a statement of value, a statement of some type of quantity. So this is an expression. An expression would be something like what we saw over here. X plus 5. The value of this expression will change depending on how this, depending on what the value of this variable is. And you could just evaluate it for different values of x. Another expression could be something like, y plus z. Now everything is a variable. If y is 1 and z is 2, it's going to be 1 plus 2. If y is 0 and z is negative 1, it's going to be 0 plus negative 1. These can all be evaluated. They'll essentially give you a value depending on the values of each of these variables that make up the expression. An equation, you're essentially setting expressions to be equal to each other. That's why they're called equations. You're equating two things. In equation, you'll see one expression being equal to another expression. So, for example, you could say something like x plus 3 is equal to 1. And in this situation, where you have an equation we have one equation with only one unknown, you can actually figure out what x needs to be in this scenario. You might even do it in your heads. What plus 3 is equal to 1? Well, you could do that in your head if I have negative 2 plus 3 is equal to 1. So in this context, the equation is starting to constrain what value this variable can take on. But it doesn't have to necessarily constrain it as much. You could have something like Вы
можете вычислить это в уме. Если я прибавлю к минус 2 3, получу единицу. В этом случае уравнение ограничивает круг значений, которое может принять переменная. Так бывает не всегда. Это может быть что-то наподобие. X плюс y плюс z равняется 5. У нас есть выражение, равно другому выражению.
If we said y is equal to 3 and z is equal to 2, then what would be x in that situation? So if y is equal to 3 and z is equal to 2, then you're going to have this, the left-hand expression is going to be x plus 3 plus 2 is going to be x plus 5. This part right over here is just going to be 5. X plus 5 is equal to 5. And so what plus 5 is equal to 5? Well, now we're constraining that x would have to be equal to 0. But the important point here, hopefully you realize the difference between expression and equation. Equation is essentially equating two expressions. The important thing to take away from here is that a variable can take on different values depending on the context of the problem. And to hit the point home, let's just evaluate a bunch of expressions when the variables have different values. So, for example, if we had the expression x to the y power, if x is equal to 5 and y is
Все,
equal to
закрепить
2,
успех, давайте
y
вычислим
is equal to
значение
2,
нескольких
then
выражений
our
с разными
expression here
значениями
is going
переменных.
to evaluate to, well, x is now going to be
Например, дано
5,
выражение
x is going to be 5, y is going to be 2, it's going to be 5 to the
x
second
степень
power,
y.
or it's going to evaluate to 25. If
Если
we
x
change the
равняется
values,
5,
if we said x,
а y равняется
x,
2,
in that same color, if we said
наше
x
выражение
is equal
принимает вид
to
x равняется 5,
-2 and y is equal to 3, then this expression would
y
evaluate
равняется
to
2, она принимает вид 5 в степени 2 и равно 25.
So it would evaluate to
Если мы изменим
-2.
значение,
That's what we're going to substitute
я
for x
напишу их
now in
такими
this
же цветами.
context. And y is now 3, -2 to the third power. -2 to the third power,
Скажем,
which
пусть
is
x
-2
равняется
times
минус
-2
2,
times -2,
а y
which
равняется
is
3.
-8. -2 times -2 is +4 times -2 again
Тогда это
is
выражение
equal to
примет следующий вид.
-8. Is equal to -8. So you see, depending on the values of these expressions, we could do even,
Минус 2, этим числом мы заменяем x в данном
We could have
случае.
an expression like the square root
Тогда
of
y
x
равняется 3,
plus
получаем
y,
минус 2 в
and
третьей
then
степени.
minus x, like that.
Что равно минус 2 умножить на минус 2 на минус 2, а это, в свою очередь, равно минус 8.
1 and y
Минус 2 умножить
is
на минус 2 равно
equal
4,
to
4
8.
умножить на минус 2
Then
равняется
this
минус
expression
8,
would
это равно
evaluate
минус
to,
8.
well, every time we see an x, we want to put a 1 there. So we would
Мы
have a
можем
1
делать даже
there,
более
we would
сложные
have
вещи.
a 1 over there, and every time you see a y,
Например, это
you
может
would
быть
put an 8
квадратный
in
корень
its
из
place.
x
In
плюс
this
y
context, we're
минус
setting
x.
these variables, so you'd see an 8. So under the radical sign, you would have a 1
Вот
plus
так.
8,
Пусть
so
x
you would have the
равняется
principal
единице,
root of 9,
и
which
y
is
равняется
3.
8.
So this whole thing would simplify. In this context, when we set these variables to be these things, this whole thing would simplify to be 3.
Тогда это выражение
1
примет
plus
такой
8 is
вид.
9, principal root of that
Каждый раз
is
x
3,
ставим
and
вместо
then
него
you'd have 3
единицу,
minus
когда у нас
1,
будет
which
единица
is
здесь
equal
и
to,
здесь.
which is equal to 2.
И каждый раз, когда видим y, мы заменяем его на 8. Заменяем его на 8. Таким образом, мы задали переменной под знаком корня у нас 1 плюс 8. Получаем квадратный корень из 9, что равно 3. Это выражение упрощается. В данном случае, когда мы задали переменные, все это выражение стало равно 3. 1 плюс 8 равняется 9, квадратный корень из 9 равен 3. Теперь нужно вычислить только 3 минус 1, что равно 2.